you guys.
Wherever we are, it's together.
I think it was a good test for us, and I think we responded twice, and I think what we need to do as a team is to go out in this game and play hard from the first whistle, and you know, not wait for Brazil to come to us. We need to go after them.
Well, we just need to play better as a team. I mean, that's been the hardest thing for us. You know, against Germany, we didn't play well. We didn't play like we know we can play, and so that's really what we're going to focus on is taking care of ourselves.
If the USA can come up with a win today versus Brazil in front of a huge crowd at Stanford Stadium.
On America's Day, America's team faces their sternest test, the Women's World Cup semifinal. Game 1, the Mia Show, with a goal and an assist in a 3-0 win over Denmark. Game 2 belongs to Tiffany Milbert in the American offense. Milbert's 2 goals led the way in a 7-1 victory over Nigeria. The bench chipped in the first-round finale as Tisha Venturini tallied a pair of goals and turned North Korea's world upside down. In the quarterfinals, an own goal gave the Germans a 1-0 lead, but Chastain and company came back in a 3-2 win. Who will thrill the fans today? U.S.-Brazil next.
This is Stanford Stadium, a World Cup '94 venue for the men. The women take center stage today. It's a Women's World Cup semifinal match between Brazil and the United States. And the winner of this match has a ticket to the final against the winner of the China-Norway match that will be played later today at Foxborough. You can catch that on ESPN2. And a pleasant good day, everyone. Welcome to Palo Alto, along with Wendy Gebauer. I'm John Paul Della Camera. The USA is used to leading in their matches and controlling the matches, but if they weren't the comeback kids on Thursday, they wouldn't even be here in this semifinal.
Coach DeChico told his team at halftime that your dream may be only 45 minutes long, and here's what ensued. Brandy Chastain gets the tying goal on a beautiful corner kick and a volley into the upper 90. And then on Shannon McMillan's first touch of the match, she finds the head of Joy Fawcett on a driven ball, what ended up being the game-winning goal. Our hometown hero of this match is Brandy Chastain. She showed what an early mistake means to this team. They were down early, but she's a champion. She refocused her thoughts. You can tell Coach DeChico's not happy at all, but she comes into the second half with her eye on her dream and volleys one home. Her celebration tells it all.
Chastain and company must worry about several Brazilians, none more important than the best free kick taker in the tournament, CC.
CC is absolutely brilliant on these. She bends the ball around and above the wall at will, and absolutely unstoppable when she nicks the inside of the post, and that goal sent Brazil to the semifinals.
Record crowds have been part of the continuing Women's World Cup story, and the USA hope to reward the faithful by getting to the championship. They hope to show off their skill, emotion, and heart today versus Brazil. The winner goes to the World Cup final.
Happy 4th of July, everyone. We're coming to you from Palo Alto, California, getting ready for the matchup between Brazil and the United States. The winner goes on to the final. These aerial pictures are courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based in Carson, California. Goodyear recently increased its blimp fleet to 7, adding 2 airships in Europe, 1 in South America, and 1 in Australia. We thank them for being with us here today. Let's go downstairs. We have a report from our sideline reporter, Chris McHenry.
JP, one way of limiting Cece's success is to limit the free kicks the team's able to take. She's made the most of Brazil being fouled 79 times. Conversely, the Americans have committed a minuscule 31 fouls, and they stressed yesterday the best game for them today would be a clean game. Back up to you.
Thank you, Chris. USA getting ready to battle Brazil. You're looking at Cece, and Brian Ascori will have to stop her. Ascori comes into this match with the second best goals against average, next to Gao Hong of China. And we'll see how Ascori goes today. She's got great numbers in this tournament, only giving up 3 goals, and one of them was an own goal. Our starting lineups today being brought to you by Bud Light.
The U.S. will play a 4-3-3, and the responsibility of organizing the defense will go to Captain Carla Overbeck. In the midfield, keep your eye on Michelle Akers as she attempts to shut down CC. And up top, keep your eye on Mia Hamm. In the last matchup between these two teams, she scored her record 108th goal.
Montevilla on the opposite side. She has struggled a bit, allowing 7 goals in 3 straight in the last
Brazil
two
will
games.
play a 4-4-2. Alane is the team's defensive leader in the four-man backfield.
We are underway from Palo Alto. Brazil will be in the yellow and blue and the USA in white. Lily 13 on the ball. To Chastain on the left. Going long. And Brazil are back there to clear it. Looking to the right side towards Nene. And that ball goes on to play. Christine Lilly leads this team in minutes played in 1999. Also tied now with Milbert with 15 goals on the year. A couple of them coming in the World Cup.
Keep your eye on Cindy Parlow and Michelle Akers. They're going to be the targets on this throw-in. Chastain has a long throw, and what they'll be trying to do is just get it into the face of the goal.
Chastain is ready. Akers peeled out to the other side, and Parlow looks to go inside. And that one went out of play. Brandy Chastain will check out her right ankle today. She didn't train a couple of days ago. Participated yesterday, though, in the full workout and was ready to go today. Off the steer. Mia Hamm trying to cut it back. That's intercepted. Cedinha, number 5, is on the ball. Into a crowded middle. The touch from Katja with Pratinha. Brazil will keep it in play on the left side. Tanya going forward. Last 3 games she hasn't gone forward, but they've made a change at the back for Brazil, and maybe that's one of the reasons why she'll go up. Sissi. They want to stop her from being the playmaker. Knocked out, and they knocked it off of Sissi. We'd like to thank Adidas and all of our sponsors for helping to bring this match to you commercial-free. Downfield USA with Mia Hamm. Nene will chase her. And Nene comes up with the ball for Brazil in the 3rd minute. These teams one match away, one win away from getting to the final against the winner of China versus Norway. Formiga. To the halfway line goes Brazil. They look to feed it through, but that's well covered. Overbeck sends it back. And this was going to be cleared away. We'll see how the USA starts this match. They've had a test of the nerves over the last few games.
Well, they have. They've kind of come under what seems to be a curse, and early on in the games, they're not able to organize themselves tight enough defensively and have made some big mistakes. And they've had two of the 3 U.S. goals were allowed in the first 5 minutes of play. So you know Overbeck's back there trying to get them organized and confident.
On the plus side, they were able to recover from those. Carl Overbeck, 3rd World Cup as captain. This one's knocked out of play. It still belongs to Brazil, the most explosive team that the USA has faced so far in this World Cup.
And they're a much improved team, JP, the most improved team since the 1991 World Cup, but even very much improved since the last matchup when they met each other in May in the U.S. Cup, or in the road to Pasadena, I'm sorry.
Sissi being marked there by Akers. Here it comes across, and Scurry knows that that one's going out. She and the USA will have a goal kick. Joy Fawcett had the game-winning goal the other night off a Shannon McMillan corner. USA got a lot of help in that game from players that don't normally score the goals. Parlow's flick intended for Milbert. Alani, the captain, that was a bit slow, not enough pace. Montevilla almost gave it away. Maybe they're nervous too. Alani got clipped. It looked like by Mia Hamm. The ball rolls up. There's no foul. It's a throw-in for the United States.
Well, we were talking about the U.S. defense being a little shaky, but we saw a very shaky Brazilian defense against Nigeria in the quarterfinal match.
USA will bend it across. Montevilla lost it. Go, Parlow!
Julie Foudy and her work rate. She gets end line and she serves the ball into the box, and it's just above the outstretched hands of Montevilla. And look at Cindy Parlow with her height and aggression, and she sends that ball home. Great effort by Cindy Parlow and a nice ball by Julie Foudy.
Right place, right time for Parlow, but bottom line, Montevilla's got to catch that ball.
Well, it has been a criticism of her game. She's very shaky back there. She's a much improved keeper, but Parlow really capitalizes on a miscue by Montevilla early on.
Might be a bit nervous, too. This is a huge crowd she's playing in front of. They say they may get as many, possibly as 70,000, when everyone walks into the gates. Back to scoring. So the USA finally have a lead early.
Well, you know that's going to settle them in very nicely into the game.
Goal coming in the 5th minute off the Foudy feed. Foudy's back here on campus where she used to go to college, Stanford. Left side, Susanna ran into a double team. USA will get it quickly into Foudy. They'll switch it. Chastain calls off Akers. Brandy Chastain, another local player who went to Santa Clara, will send it inside. That's denied. CC brings it down. And Akers and Foudy get together, and a foul is called on the U.S.
You can tell that the U.S. team has really analyzed their game tape against Germany, and they're creating numbers up in the midfield.
Chastain defending on Katya. Good ball. Nene holds. Stripped to the ball on the left side. Chastain moves it up the wing. The U.S. attacks. Kept on the ground. Milbert cuts inside. She was tripped. At least from up here, there's no call made. On the right side, Brazil will take it over. USA leads by a goal, thanks to Parlo. She told me yesterday that she thought she played pretty well the first 2 games, but struggled in the next 2. That goal has to help her confidence.
JP, I felt like in the road to Pasadena in her game against Brazil was her really her breakout game of her career, and she has really come on strong. Loves to she's very confident against a team like Brazil because they give her some space in front of that back line.
Brazil does allow you to play. You won't see them bunker. USA holding it up. Foudy plays it back. Switch by Sobrero all the way to the right side. Joy Fawcett. Contact there, play continues. Lilly feeds. Akers had a little bit of room. Left foots it. If that ball's on her right foot and she's closer to center, that ball may have been past Montevilla. I think that's why she didn't want to take the initial shot.
Here's a nice look at the goal, brought to you by the Power Bar Goal Cam. A great bending ball by Julie Foudy that just comes over the outstretched hands of Marta Vidia. And look at Cindy Parlo making that near post run into the box to finish it. Ball's going to be cleared out. USA chance here at Stanford Stadium. Foudy on the ball. Taken over by Brazil. That lead pass by Pretinho was intended for Katya. Scurry was way out of the box as she clears. Carlos settles. Off a high foot, it comes down. Elanyi playing in her 3rd World Cup for Brazil. And someone's lost a boot on that contact. The foul is called. This is an amazing statistic here. Look at the U.S. shots on goal. When they're on goal, they score 50% of the time. That is a great statistic. These are 2 teams that will put that ball on net. Expect a lot of shots today. And depending on how the goalkeepers go, we'll tell you whether it'll be a high-scoring game or not. Both goalkeepers you would expect would be tested today. Elanyi with this clearance. USA pretty tight right now in the back compared to the previous matches. Well, they have a lot of respect for these front runners for Brazil. Pretinho and Katya are awesome 1v1, and they also have incredible speed. Chastain on the ground for Lilly. Lilly with a knock upfield. She was looking Milbert's way, but that goes out. It belongs to Brazil. Christine Lilly from Wilton, Connecticut, a veteran on this team. Not only one of the smarter players in this team, one of the smarter players in the world. Well, physically, her game is just unbelievable, but tactically as well, she can break down defenses coming out of the midfield. She's also very versatile and not unusual for DeChico to put her up front. Carlos touch a bit too far. USA almost ran out of that ball with a great effort. Here's Milbert who's doing the chasing. Susanna will switch it. Nene has to go back, and that allows the USA to settle defensively. 10th minute, 1-0 USA on a Cindy Parlo goal. In the 5th minute, off a Julie Foudy cross.
Nene holds and plays it back. Elanye. One of the keys was try not to let CC become the playmaker. She's hardly touched the ball here.
Well, and Akers has done a good job, as well as Foudy and Lilly, to try and create numbers up every time any midfielder gets a ball.
Off the USA throw-on, CC has been brilliant so far in this tournament. 7 goals, she's the leader. Foudy across. Chastain. They give her some room. Wide of the wing. Mia Hamm on the dribble. Back outside. Chastain holds. Plays it off the right, but it's deflected. Lilly almost ran onto it. Akers heads it down. USA trying to stretch the Brazilian defense with Milbred. Tackling away. Nice play by Tanya. And Fawcett breaks it up. Brazil can't get going.
I think the United States is putting them under a lot of pressure by playing good team defense, and you've seen Mia Hamm and Cindy Parlow and Tiffany Milbert start that defense from up front. What happens is it doesn't allow the defenders to have any time to set the play, and thus errant passes go into the midfield where Lilly and Akers and Foudy are trying to pick them off. It really is good team defense.
Brazil will switch. Tanya. Switch blocked. She'll recover. Push to the back for Elanye, who scored her first ever goal in her first match in the '91 World Cup versus Japan. Sissi plays it back. Stolen. Parlow. Missed it, but she was fouled. Formiga didn't like getting beaten on that ball.
Well, if they remember Parlow from the last game, she's so dangerous when she faces up 1v1 against any defender, and Brazil gave her a lot of time and space in the last matchup.
Montevilla sets up the wall. Chastain strikes it, but there was no whistle. Brazil and their players were still talking to the referee. Katrina Elaberta, who we saw in the North Korea match.
Chastain was trying to convert on a quick kick to try and catch the Brazilian defense, and Montevilla off her line. She's setting the wall right now.
Chastain with Lilly behind her. Chastain is ready. USA leads by a goal. Chastain fired it off the wall. Brazil had that one blocked well. Towards the corner flag, they recover and clear. Knotted down towards Foudy. Ball possession in the early going, favoring the U.S. heavily. This ball goes out, and a conversation. And a card to Tanya. Tanya gets the yellow. This referee, Aliberta, was the one that brought out the yellow card the quickest, it seemed, in this tournament to get control, and she does it again here, this time in the 14th minute. Milbert on the ball. Bends it across. It's in the air for Akers. And it's still loose. Finally, Nene will just clear it, but she gives it away. Sent back in. Milbert made the run. Great effort from Tiffany Milbert, who's really become a star this year. 15 goals on the year and 3 in this World Cup.
Here's a look at Overbeck's ball. She's trying to send it far post, and it's just a little bit long, out of the reach of a nice run made by Tiffany Milbert.
Back to live action. Brazil with Tanya. Still going. Was behind one teammate. Katja turned, then it was blocked. Chastain with a good job defending. Nice moves, and that last touch was too much. Katja showed great skill on the sideline, but was unable to convert that.
Katja is an awesome player. She's got great speed. Actually gave up a very successful track and field career in order to focus full-time on soccer.
Akers. Nice effort to Parlow. Mia Hamm was chasing it down. Handball. Pretty obvious one by Formiga right in front of the referee. Winningest coach in U.S. soccer. Men's team or women's team, Tony DeChico. Trying to get back into the final like they did in the Olympics where they won. CC on the U.S. giveaway. CC puts it ahead for Coutinho. Brought down by Fawcett. But that is as dangerous as Brazil has looked so far. Lead pass the other way. It's coming all the way back to Manavilla. This has been tremendous. Pictures coming to you from the Goodyear blimp up above. We'll be showing you quite a few of those shots today. The crowd has been one of the major stories of this World Cup.
It has. The average attendance has been unbelievable, and this crowd in particular, JP, you and I got caught in the traffic jam coming over here. They showed up early. They're outside having a festive time, and inside the stadium, it's just deafening, the noise. And it's not just a U.S. crowd. There's a lot of Brazilian fans here as well.
Comes back for it. Brazil will knock it away to the halfway line. Parlo looking. Sobrero played it up in the right. Here's Foudy. Julie Foudy holds, now plays it across. There's Chastain. Brandy's goal tied the match the other night. Wide to the left side it goes as the USA continue to try to stretch out the Brazilian defense. This one's going to be cleared out of play. Throw-in coming up for the United States.
Chastain's going to take the time that she needs to scope out the options here because, again, we talked about it last throw-in, but Akers and Parlo are going to be point persons here, and they're going to try and flick the ball into the face of the goal.
There's that long throw. They were looking inside. Parlo to Lily was the intention. Here it comes, but it's wide. Two U.S. players getting involved in that one. Foudy and Milbert were both there.
There's another look here, and Parlo actually just put pressure on the defense there. That was a Brazilian header that ended up at Akers' head, and Milbert takes a nice half chance, but just can't quite get it on the face of the goal.
Foul called on the United States on Mia Hamm, one of the few fouls for them in this entire tournament. They're averaging about 8 a match. That's incredibly low, especially when you play the tough defense that the U.S. team is known for. Tanya will have a free kick. She didn't start in game 1. They started Fanta there, but she has started every other game since. Tanya clears, looking for Pretinha. Fawcett has marked her up. Akers will push it back. Sobrero sends it long. Formiga chases, but Parlo's got it. Toe pokes it ahead to Milbert. Milbert holds, waits for Lily's run. Now plays it to the middle. Parlo is looking. Late run by Foudy. She gets to it. Chastain. Lily. Akers. It was blocked and cleared.
Boy, the player that came up big on defense there was CC. She was marking up on Akers and got in there right before Akers was able to unleash that shot.
Akers will switch it. That's what they want to do quickly. Mia Hamm drives it in. Trying to get it over that last defender, but that's tough to do. Alanye is so tall. Chastain to the left. Drives it across. Awkward looking pass as it's cleared by Brazil. Pretinha and Katja. That's behind Sissi, and it's played all the way back to Brianna Scurry. Sobrero, the youngest and less capped member of that back four. Now to Fawcett. Brazil recovering. Suzana. Trying to lift that one over, but Overbeck knocked it down. Suzana plays it back. This is Formiga. Formiga holds. Trying to play down the middle. She got it and deadened it, but nobody ran down that middle for her. Hamm was fouled. Suzana commits it. Free kick USA. Carla Overbeck over the ball. It's her job to organize the defense, and even when the crowds get loud, she says that she'll talk to players during breaks. There are lulls where you can talk to players, but not so much during the action.
And we've seen a couple times where communication has been a problem. In the first game, they talked about it, that they couldn't really hear each other very well. And as well, we saw some collisions in the backfield in some of the games, and it's definitely been, you don't want to shut the crowd out because they're here and they're supporting the team, but at the same time, it does make it kind of tough to communicate.
Cindy Parlow has scored the only goal of this game. USA lead thanks to that goal in the 5th minute. Akers got back up, fights hard to win the ball. It's CC and her brilliance. Getting it for Bertinha. Sent across by Susanna and flags up. And Brazil is offside. These two teams, very few offside calls against them in the tournament. That's only the 11th time Brazil have been offside. USA have been offside 3 times.
Let's take a look here. The person in question is right here, and look at the server, Susanna. Go ahead and roll it. Now, freeze it. When the ball leaves her foot, you can see where the defense is set up, and she's definitely offside. That was a great call.
Brazil's ball. They trail by 1. Wilsinho is their head coach, having replaced USWNT.
He's been there for 6 months, JP, and I think he has done a great job in organizing this Brazilian team.
Nene going long for CC, but Scory is right there. '51 career shutouts for Brianna Scory as she clears it. Intended for Ham, instead it's settled by Lily in the middle. Back to Michelle Akers. That one's deflected and Brazil will recover. And they just knocked it out. They have an injury at the back, and that's why they chose to clear it out. It is Elanyi, who's a rock back there. It takes a lot to take her out.
You don't see her go down very often. That's a good point, but maybe her wind has just been knocked out of her here.
Elanyi has played in every minute of each of these games. Here's a time where you can coach. Wilsinho shouting out some instructions to the players. Samba time. Happy 4th of July, everyone. This is spectacular. Women's World Cup action continues on ESPN2 tonight, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. China versus Norway. Bob Lee and Seamus Mallon will have the call of that. The winner gets to play the winner of this match in the World Cup final. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com.
Well, JP, this is interesting. To see Elanyi in so much pain here is very unusual. She's a very, very tough defender, but Brazil needs her back out on the field because she is their organizer.
And she's their toughest defender, too.
Of course, now Brazil's playing a man down until she can figure out whether or not she can go back in. Wilsinho will have to make that decision of whether or not to sub for her.
We've seen Brazil play probably 5 or 6 times now, and I've never even seen her come out. So if he does make the substitution, we'll see who he decides to bring on. Right now, she's still being treated on the sidelines, but looks like she's ready to make a go of it and come back on. That was a tough collision, too. Katja is down, so is Akers. And people watching at home must cringe every time Michelle Akers goes down.
Michelle's checking the back of her head to see if it's been split open. Maybe she's looking for blood. Look here. We see this almost every game, and Katja goes up early and just heads Aker in the back of the head. We see it all the time in this sport.
Those two are down. Poor Michelle Akers. So many injuries, not only through her career, but also this is a real freak one. We take it back to Foxborough. High-fiving everybody, and she was grabbed by an over-exuberant fan. That hurt her shoulder.
And we saw in the last match in the quarterfinal game that shoulder was really bothering her. Unbelievably, the point of that whole thing, she didn't even play in that match, and she gets hurt by a fan after the game.
Well, her list of injuries, too numerous to mention. She can't even tell you how many knee surgeries she's had. And Michelle Akers, every bit as tough as Elanyi, probably tougher with what she's had to overcome. 103 goals for Michelle Akers and 11 in World Cup play. No one else has scored more than her in Women's World Cup history.
Get her back on, Nicole. What do you need? Get her water, please. Okay, you're back on. She's ready to back on.
Tony DeChico saying to let her back on. I presume he was talking to one of the referee's assistants, and Akers is on. So is Elanyi. And Katja didn't get the worst of that, so she's up and fine. There'll be some stoppage time put on, maybe a few minutes for that. Fawcett on the right side. Fawcett with good speed. Slowed down by the Brazilians who zone in on him. It's played back. The knock-up field by Overbeck, and that ball was out. 26th minute. USA leads Brazil by a goal. In their last match against them, they won 3-0. You go all the way back to the 91 World Cup final. They trounced Brazil 5-0, but times have changed since then.
The big reason for that is the Brazilian Federation is really behind this women's team. These women back in their home country are stars. They walk down the road, they're recognized, they're very, very well funded and well supported. They can focus on this like professionals as a full-time career.
Sobrero plays it up the middle. Brazil steals. Sissi. Lily blocked a piece of it, and now Akers comes back for the rest. Chastain. Wide to the left side. Ham brings it down, almost gave it away. Good second effort, and then Ham goes down. And that collision with Katja. Limping a bit as she goes back. Out of play, a throw-in coming up for Brazil. Mia Hamm scoring in the first couple of games in this tournament, none in the next two, but still playing hard, and she also had an injury. Best described, I guess, as a hip flexor. Played the full 90 the last game in spite of it. What a day it is on the 4th of July from Palo Alto, California. You're watching semifinal action of the Women's World Cup with Wendy Guevara and Chris McHenry on the sideline. I'm John Paul Della Camera. The USA have the lead, thanks to Cindy Paulo. Only goal of this match coming in the 5th minute on a feed from Julie Foudy. Sissi knocks it down. Pretinha. With all the offense out there, I thought we would see more chances at this point, and we haven't. So USA has suffocated Brazil's offense, and at the same time, Brazil has done a much better job since giving up that goal. Elani is back. Nene. Cedinha. Nene is taken over. Overtaken by Chastain. Mia Hamm. Taken on Elani, who's away from the center. Brazil have lost their formation a bit here defensively, but now the USA, it won't matter because they've pushed it all the way back into their end. Fawcett knocked that away from Susanna. Into space it comes. Here's where you must fear Brazil on those balls that go through. And they're looking for the referee's assistant for some assistance. Now she points to the corner flag. First corner.
I would agree, JP. From up here, it definitely looked like Overbeck was not able to track that ball down.
Brianna Story checking things out. Sissi gets ready to take this corner.
Brazil only has 3 players in the box. Kind of unusual.
All the way to the far side. Nene keeps it alive. You know, in U.S. Cup, we saw Elani go up on all of those corners and free kicks, and she hasn't done that.
Well, it seems like she's playing a little more conservative, although it could also be from the injury earlier on. Maybe she's trying to be conservative just with how she feels. This is what they're trying to combat against, is a quick counterattack by the U.S.
Both of these teams are great, actually, in the counterattack. Here's Sissi. Nice footwork. Katja. Pretinha. Blocked. Corner kick coming up. Fawcett came back to defend. Scurry says she's more worried about Pretinha than Sissi in the run of play, and that's one of the reasons.
Well, Pretinha is a player who loves to play on the edge of a restraining line. She's very, very quick, and she can get in behind the defense.
Off the in-swinger, Fawcett cleared it out. It'll be a throw-in now for Brazil. There's the player to watch for Brazil, Sissi. She's figured in 10 of their 16 goals. 7 goals, 3 assists. Here's Scurry. Brian Scurry with all that contact, got it. And it's clear.
Well, that was a big, big save by Scurry.
Cleared away now by Overbeck. Susanna's back near the halfway line. Goes out for with Brazil throwing. Off the throw in, CC with a nice back heel flick. Here's Katja. For Amiga, took too long. And came back and won the ball to Parlo. She kept it in. Nope, apparently not.
JP, one thing I'm noticing is that CC is pushing up and really trying to actually almost play like a front runner, which is a little bit different from what we saw in the rest of the cup from her. And in doing so, she's trying to put more pressure on the U.S. defense.
Here's Tiffany Milbert, nodding it down and recovering it. Cindy Parlo off the face of Tanya. Sissi, she's a pleasure to watch. Susanna.
She can create numbers up and create 2v1s with just a little bit of space. But you can see Brazil do that all over the field. That's their trademark.
If we ever start a women's pro league, that's the first foreign player you got to go after. Played upfield on the left. Milbert. Now on the opposite side of the field. She's been on the right side much of the time. Her and Hamel will switch off a lot. Mia's now on the right. This one goes outside. Let's go down to the sideline and Chris McHenry.
Well, JP and Wendy, one thing Tony DeChico's reminding his team as you see Brazil trying to get some numbers up is to hold its form and stay organized. Back up to you two.
A big part of that, JP, is that when the U.S. gets the ball wide, which is part of this, he's saying, you know, keep your shape, keep your form. That's when they're successful. And you can see Julie Foudy is one of those players. And as well, the front runners are working to get wide. And that's when they're most successful. Here's a look at Brianna Scurry coming out very strong here, and that player that she's up against is Pertinha, and that's a big time save because if you don't put pressure on Pertinha from that spot, that ball is in the back of the net more times than not.
Off that Brazil throw it, they're going to get possession down the wing. 3 on the attack. It's Katja leading it. Pertinha heads it down for CC. Akers cleared it away. The danger of Brazil, and Akers thwarted it. Sissi knocks it down. Here's Tanya. All the way across. And that one goes out. We're going to say corner kick.
And this play started by Katja. She serves a great ball to the back post by Pertinha, and a beautiful knockdown to CC is the player she was trying to find. But look at Akers' determination to get back and play good team defense.
Off the third corner, Brazil will play it short. Blocked again by Sobrero that time. She almost comes out of the pack with it. Juliana played it forward. Brazil are back in the ball. Down the middle they come. And that one goes wide. Scurry lets it go out. She'll have a goal kick in the 34th minute.
JP, it's been interesting to watch the flow of the game. Early on, the U.S. got an early goal. They came out. They were all over the Brazilians. Brazil is now settling down very nicely. I think a big part of it is they've pushed Sissi up top. So normally the U.S. plays a four-man back line, but they're usually looking at 2 forwards coming at them. Well, now they've got 3 forwards, 2 of them with incredible speed, and the third one in CC with accuracy. It really is going to, it might put the U.S. defense under a lot of pressure, and it's also not allowing them to set play from that space.
Tony DeChico said this crowd in '94 was like a 12th man. They're going to try to be that today, too. Chastain settles. USA on the attack, looking for space. It's blocked. Nene turns it back inside. Over the halfway line now to CC. Off the double team, she was stripped. USA counters, Parlo touching back. Ham on the cut. CC trying to do some defense. It's vintage Mia as she shook her. Now it's knocked out of play for throwing. Mia Hamm has scored 6 goals lifetime against Brazil. If you're wondering who her favorite nemesis is, it is Canada, where she has scored 10 goals. Throw in coming up. USA again looking for that long Chastain throw. Akers wins it in the air. Not a down. Lily looking. Maravilla has got it.
You can see on that play that Parlo actually actually stepped off the edge of the field. She did that because she didn't want to get caught off sides on Foudy's header into the box.
Played back to the feet of Brian Ascuri. And she'll just boot it up near the halfway line. Milbert was there. She gets help from Lily. Tiffany Milbert, former standout at the University of Poland, loses possession. Alani takes it over. 36th minute. USA leading 1-0. Looking for a ticket to the World Cup final next weekend. Tanya in the box. And that one was shot wide, no deflection. Goal kick coming up for the United States. These are very impressive numbers, and Wendy, that number's going to change because they're expecting more than the 62,000 average here today.
Aren't these amazing, JP? I mean, this sport has grown, and you mentioned in the Open that this is America's team, and I truly believe that as well. I mean, this is a great family event. They've really targeted families, and if you analyze the sports out there, especially the women's sports, I think this sport has emerged as the family event. Great analysis was that there was longer lines at the ice cream stands than at the beer stands.
Yeah, that was Marta Messing's quote, the leader of the Women's World Cup. Here's Parlo. And that's going to be cleared away. Throw in for the USA D.
Both Tanya and Formiga organized very nicely against Cindy Parlo and created numbers up on defense.
Parlo on the throw-in. She'll get it back. Trying to put it into space. Her and Lily not on the same page on that particular passing sequence. And it's a goal kick for Maravilla.
There's Cindy Parlo. It looks now that she and Christine Lilly have flip-flop positions, moving Christine Lilly up top and Cindy Parlo in the back. Now, I think one of the reasons for this is that the U.S. might want more of a height presence in the midfield.
Off the wing, it's cleared out by Brazil. USA will have a throw-in. Carla Overbeck, quick on it for Lily. Susanna has some help. Tanya gave it away to Parlo. Nice pass for Ham. She's got two defenders going inside, and that was not close enough to either Parlo or Lily, but a good try. Corner kick, first one for the United States.
We can see whenever Ham gets the ball, her head's up, and she's analyzing her options. Do I have an early serve, or do I want to find the seam? Keep your eye on Chastain on the back post.
Played across and cleared out. They'll get to do it again. Second USA corner coming up. And again, Milbert will be taking it.
If you watch Milbert, she's taking this with her left foot. The ball's going to be bending inside. Fawcett is right there on the keeper, trying to create some havoc.
Driven across by Milbert. Nobody there on that far side. Fortunately for Brazil, because Maravilla had moved. Coming up on our Adidas halftime report, if you keep it here in just a few minutes, we'll talk about the U.S. soccer being on course. We'll have our All-State save of the day and a recap of the first half. Cindy Parlo has the only goal in the first 38-plus minutes. Milbert. Off that foul, the USA will have a free kick. These two teams are averaging almost 20 shots each per game, but we've not seen as much offense. The game has settled down after that early goal by Parlo.
Doesn't like that. The Brazilians kick the ball away. Crowd saying that's bad sportsmanship.
Ham takes the free kick. Late run from Lily. She's got it. She's trying to play it across. I thought it may have looked more like a shot, but I think she was crossing that ball that goes out in the 40th minute. Catch the best of extreme sports on X Games Day 8, prime time tonight, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific on ESPN2. For more on the X Games, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com. Crowds have been a big story of the X Games as well as they've been here at the World Cup.
Well, during our breaks for the telecast for the Women's World Cup, I've enjoyed going back to the hotel and catching the X Games. It's a lot of fun.
Right down the road from us, too, in San Francisco.
I think with Tisha Venturini's back flip, she could maybe be an X Game athlete.
Trentinha. And this one goes out. It's still going to belong to Brazil. USA loves it when Virginia's that far back on her side of the halfway line, because she's not going to bother the USA there. And this time Fawcett knocked it away from her and out. It's a USA throw-in. Fawcett not quick enough for Akers, who put her head down. Sissy got her, but I don't think that was intentional at all. And in fact, sometimes they give it a card sometimes to the player because she went down like that.
Oh, and a dangerous play on the player who goes in for a header.
Yeah. They're going to give a yellow card to CC, but I thought really that Akers was bending down too far, and it was not CC's fault. We'll see.
A lot of times when a player goes in and heads the ball like that, they get down low and head it. That's usually a dangerous play call on Akers in that situation, but CC came in and just cleated her. Can't tell if maybe one of her eyes, but it looks like she's okay.
Well, they're 10-8 to Akers. CC with the yellow card. It's 2 yellows on Brazil today. And there's always a hush in the crowd when they recognize that number 10 Akers is the player down. She's been a pleasure to watch throughout her career, 14 years now in the national team, and one of these days the career will be over and everyone will miss her.
The word is that she may retire after this World Cup, but I don't really agree with it. She's had such a phenomenal career. She's one of 4 women with 100+ career goals, scored the first ever goal for the United States, and still on the field today, and she's done more for this game than anybody. She is a true pioneer.
Almost as many World Cup goals as knee operations.
Wow.
Akers is on the sideline now, so the USA are down a player. They're up on the scoreboard by 1. 42nd minute. Into the box. It's headed by Paulo. Montevilla has got that. Rolls it up the middle. Dangerous ball to CC. USA are back for it. There could be some significant stoppage time put on in this first half if they're running an accurate clock, and maybe as much as 5 minutes. We've had quite a few players going down. Here's Fawcett. All the way to the back for Scurry. Scurry, the former UMass standout, clears it long, but Brazil won that. Cut up by Overbeck. Brazil getting it back quickly for Pretinha. Puts it into space for CC. And there was some communication there. Sobrero and Chastain talking to each other, same with Scurry.
I would imagine that they've spent a lot of time analyzing the game tapes of past games, and they've really tried to focus in on what it was that was causing the defenses to break down.
You can see Michelle Akers is back in the field. Good news for the USA. Off CC. And a giveaway as Katia takes over for Brazil. Trailing only by a goal. Here at Palo Alto, here's Nene. Chased by Ham. Chastain, there's the double team. USA will win the ball. With a knock-up field at the halfway line. Brazil stops that. Juliana. Brazil showing a lot of discipline and maturity here after giving up an early goal. That's a sign of their improvement. This one goes out. It still belongs to Brazil.
Well, Lucinho has, I think, done a very good job of organizing his Samba-style team, because they all love to dance on the ball, but has also made them very organized. They get wide much quicker than they have in the past. Don't you agree, JP?
Yes, oh, for sure. Their biggest letdown, though, was in that last game against Nigeria. They took their foot off the pedal and almost lost that game. This one goes out off Katia. We've got an update on Michelle Akers. Let's go downfield to Chris McHenry.
Michelle Akers is fine. They were extra cautious with her because she took a cleat right to the left eye socket, the same eye socket she did suffer a fracture on back in February. Back up to you two.
Well, and Winnie and I, Chris, remember that well at the FIFA World All-Star game. She had to leave the game and ended up beating the timetable for her recovery, but plenty of stitches in that game for her.
If you remember, it was a corner kick, and she didn't protect herself well enough, and Linda Madelin went in really hard, although Akers got herself back on the field a month quicker than she was supposed to.
Elanye, more USA chants in this great crowd at Stanford.
JP, this crowd is amazing. I mean, you know, these players down on the field can really feel the energy they're getting from the crowd. Every time something exciting happens, with the uproar, it just sends chills through your body.
Chastain. Let go by Elanye. Montevilla rolls it left for Tanya. It's denied on the right side. Nice moves by Overbeck. Good touch by Milmer to Foudy. Foudy goes up the middle. That's clipped away. It was intended for Mia Hamm. Sedinha chases and wins for Nene. Long ball towards Katja. Chastain with a great run despite a tender right ankle. Brandy Chastain got back in a hurry against Katja. They will put 4 minutes of stoppage time on the board before this first half will come to a close. Brandy Chastain gutting it out. Had a great second half in the game against Germany, and she got her 100th cap today and has a nice new watch, a Rolex. That's what they give U.S. women players.
They've had to fork out a lot of Rolexes this year.
More for the women than the men. They gave it to her right before the match started. Got to be great for Brandy Chastain to be coming back here. They don't get to come home much when they're in residency, only when the games are played in California.
Well, I remember in the FIFA World All-Star match, she had some 50 fans here that she got tickets for. My guess is that probably that number maybe has doubled for this game.
I would think her and Foudy might have had a legitimate ticket problem today.
Well, on the way in, we saw the Loudy Foudies, Ian, her husband, and their whole family were walking in. They all wore the same shirts.
Harlow, we're in the second minute of stoppage time. USA leading by 1. Stripped by Formiga. Sissi. Fawcett back for the U.S. and the ball apparently was out. Belongs to Brazil. Trailing only by a goal in this Women's World Cup semifinal.
JP, in all these World Cup matches thus far, I remember a lot of goals that have been scored in extra times. This is a time that the teams are very vulnerable. They're hoping for halftime to occur, and that's when mental letdowns occur.
Here's Parlow, hoping Brazil has one of those letdowns. Lilly on the turn, right idea, but the bad pass was picked off. There's Nene. 2 players down. Milburn went in hard and was slow to get up. USA back in the ball. Milburn plays it back and wide. Brazil are back defensively. Hamm makes the run, but the pass is off target, allowing Alagny to clear. Akers in the air. Settled by Tanya. Here's Pretinha. And it's getting more physical near the closing stages of this first half.
Well, I would say that Brazil's definitely got the momentum right now.
Formiga to Pretinha. And a foul on the USA. They've been good about not fouling Brazil anywhere near goal. Sissi's out a bit. They don't want to foul this team anywhere from 30 yards in. She's about at 30 now, so trust me, it's in her range. She'll pass, though, instead. And Scurry's there. Not a good finish, but a great service from Sissi when everyone expected shot.
Well, we saw Sissi and Nene connect in previous games on that back post run and actually ended up with a goal off a header in an earlier game. But Scurry did a great job to be very composed and hold her line so she wouldn't get beat near post.
Katja picked up by the speedy Sobrero. Brazil trying to play it through to Pretinha. Overbeck blocks that and clears it. Off Chastain, it looked. Brazil will have a throw-in the closing seconds of the first half. We're in the 4th minute of stoppage time. Brazil possessing for Sissi. Partially blocked by Akers, who will clear it out, knowing there can't be much time left. This rolls out. Tanya with a throw-in. That'll do it. First half in front of this magnificent 4th of July crowd goes the USA's way, at least in the scoreboard. Parlow has the only goal. The US 1, Brazil nothing. Great crowd today at Stanford. The USA.
You can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. No, no puedes. Yes, I can. Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than you. Yes, I can.
This halftime report is presented by Adidas, taking women's soccer into the next millennium with the new equipment, Predator Manita.
Welcome back to Palo Alto, California, celebrating the 4th of July with a 1-0 American lead over the Brazilians. When Team USA travels, they pack the essentials: boots, balls, and clubs. When there's a break in the schedule, they break for the Lynx.
Julie Fowler here from the USA Women's Soccer Team. In our spare time, shh, don't tell anyone, we managed to come out on the golf course a lot. Nice, Sue. So we want you to join us in a comedy tour of 18 holes with Brandy, Mia, myself, and our trainer, Sue. Oh, bounce. Hang on. Yeah, baby. Meg, par first hole for you, baby, for you, Meg. I'm probably by far the worst golfer of the group, fortunately. Mia's the best because she takes this the most serious. Brandy, great swing, a little erratic, just like her personality. Brad, how's it going down there, bud? Beautiful. Beachfront property. It's gorgeous. I love the swampland of Florida. I like to play the whole course. I don't like to favor just one part like the middle because then you're missing some scenery. We don't mess around. We don't lag putt with the U.S. Women's Soccer Team. We go to the hole. There you go. Good, baby. Nice. That's like the pros. Be back at the top. Sorry, it's slick. A dimension of our training is getting away from soccer and being able to relax and have fun. And as you can see, we're having a lot of fun on the golf course. Sorry. A lot of our personalities come out on the golf course, you know. Mia, is very analytical about her golf game, just like she is about her soccer game, and which is a great thing, you know. And Brandy and I, on the other hand, we're not so analytical. No. we consider it more of our social time. Oh yes! Oh yeah! Thank you, thank you, thank you. This game is so easy. So easy.
And Julie Fowler's husband, Ian Sawyers, a former assistant coach right here at Stanford, is a golf fanatic who recently caddied for Beth Daniels on the LPGA Tour. The Adidas halftime report continues right after this.
Mr. President, this is James Carville, and I want to...
Adidas halftime report. Coming here from Palo Alto, another great crowd watching the U.S. national team play. USA leads Brazil by the score of 1-0. Only one goal for the USA, and they've been kept into the game as well because of Brian Escorian, our All-State Save of the Day. Watch Pertinia coming in. There's a collision there. Joy Fawcett's there, but Brian Escorian comes up big. That is our All-State Save of the Day, and that's why Escorian still has a shutout and why the USA is still on top. Women's World Cup action continues on ESPN2 tonight, 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific. China versus Norway. Join Bob Lee and Seamus Mallon for the call on that one live from Foxborough Stadium. Great atmosphere today in Palo Alto. We'll be continuing in a moment. USA leads 1-0 over Brazil.
Chastain. This is Mia Hamm right here, and you don't play much, do you?
I scored 3 goals against Denmark, you moron.
From New York, ask about our drug-resistant tuberculosis. It's the Late Show with David Letterman. Tonight, the U.S. Women's World Cup soccer team and comedian Jim Gaffigan, plus Paul Schaefer and the CBS Orchestra. And now, the Caltech scientists to develop the eavesdropping robot, David Letterman.
much. Hey. Welcome to the Late Show, ladies and gentlemen. We come to you each and every night live on videotape from the greatest city in the world, New York, New York, the town so nice they named it twice. New York, New York. And they gave him a game jersey, and Clinton got all excited because it's the first time in a long time a woman has given him a piece of clothing that wasn't considered evidence. I was telling the audience earlier, we had a great show for you tonight. We have your 1999 U.S. Women's World Cup champion soccer team. They're all here. Very funny comedian Jim Gaffigan. Here's Paul Schaefer, ladies and gentlemen. Just backstage with him a minute ago. I want to tell you something. You get in a room with these kids, and by and large, compared to me, they're kids, you know. It's very, very exciting. They defeated the communist Red Menace, China. They defeated them because... We're still fighting communism, aren't we? Isn't that the thing
every
to be
day,
fighting?
every single day.
I know that there's not much left, but China, you know, they're commies, right?
Are they still?
They defeated the angry, nasty communist Red Menace 5-4, and what a thrilling game, and to win the World Cup. What's the matter? Huh? And you know, it was great. It was a nice way to begin the summer. It was exciting because when you watch these kids play soccer, it's thrilling. I mean, it really is a beautiful game. And the way they play it, I mean, the athleticism and the grace with which they approach the contest is superb. And they're lovely young women. So that right there, you get great role models, you know, for kids, great role models for even little boys. You know, if that's, you know, if I'd have had one of those. So they're nice, they're smart, they're intelligent, and also they're hot. You know? You just can't. So they're on the show, and Neil Armstrong, you know, you think about it, and I was reading up in some. Let's take a look at the team. There they are, ladies and gentlemen. There's your World Cup champion soccer team. What a nice, great bunch of terrific athletes, nice people, and certifiable babes.
Oh.
Without a question. Let's bring them out here. What do you say?
Now you're talking.
Okay. Our first guest scored the final 2 penalty shots, which led the U.S. women's soccer team to victory in the 1999 World Cup tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 2 of your U.S. Women's World Cup champions, Brandi Chastain and Mia Hamm. Kids, come on out. It's exciting, isn't it? I got a lot of questions for you guys. First of all, talk to me about this format. You play a regulation 90-minute game. By the way, how come in soccer, you guys ought to know this, how come in soccer there's not one guy with one clock that has one time for the whole game? How come you're sitting at home and you think, oh, there's only 2 minutes left, and it clicks over to 90, and you're still playing, and they say, no, 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 there's some stoppage time. There's about 3 minutes of stoppage play. What is that all about?
Keeping you on the edge of your seat.
But shouldn't it be just one guy with one clock so everybody knows what the hell's going on?
That's what we say, because we've been beaten in the 93rd minute. So we'd love just to have someone say, you know, 2 minutes and that's it.
Right. So is this the kind of thing you should take up with FIFA?
There are a lot of things we'd love to take up with FIFA.
Well, you know, whatever you want to take up with them, I'm there. I'll represent you in court, whatever it takes.
You're on.
But it's like, are they trying to keep it a secret? Is it part of the strategy? Is it?
It's all about control. They
what
want
it is.
control of the entire event.
That's right. So you can have 2 teams, 90,000 people in the stands. Nobody has any idea what time it is.
Isn't that beautiful?
Okay. All right. So now moving on to point number 2. You play 2 45-minute halves, right?
Correct.
And then you go to the 15-minute OT. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay. Now after that, the score is still 0-0.
Yeah, beautiful.
And and then you go to the penalty kick format. Now, is that okay with you guys? Is that the way you want this competition to end up, in a penalty? I mean, obviously, this one worked out just great. But, I mean, after you've played like 90 and 15, whatever that works out to be, you know, it comes down to a whole different kind of contest, doesn't it?
It's one of those things. It's you know, usually what happens in penalty kicks is the dominating team doesn't win, because psychologically you're so deterred because you've been dominating the game. You go into the penalty kicks, now it's a crapshoot. I mean, pretty much anyone has a chance to win. It's up to 5 people and your goalkeeper, and so it's frustrating. We love to keep playing, and you know, we've talked about just, you know, keep dragging dead bodies off, you know, one by one. And
now, is this the format for World Cup competition, or is this the universal soccer rule?
The universal soccer rule.
All over the world, every soccer match finishes up this way if it goes scoreless.
Except for the MLS, they have their own set of rules, which we don't need to go into.
We don't care.
No.
We don't care anything
No,
about
we
those
don't.
guys.
It's not that we don't care. No, we care.
all the FIFA competitions.
Ah, the FIFA.
Yeah.
Now, so in the penalty kick shootout, who has the advantage statistically? Is it the goalie or is it the shooter?
The kicker.
The kicker always has the advantage.
Oh, of course. I mean, they know where they're going. The goalkeeper has to really react or guess to where the ball might go.
Yeah. Now, what is the goalkeeper is limited? She can only move laterally. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, there's, you know, the spirit of the rule is that the goalkeeper can move laterally.
And sometimes I think in this particular case, our goalkeeper maybe indicated that she, you know, had a little too much spirit with that rule.
Absolutely. Bri has a lot of spirit, and she made a great save. That was in the spirit of the rule.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I don't know if you can say this, but you just, I mean, terrific legs. My God, great legs.
You can say that. Huh? Why can you say it?
So it must be one of those deals where you're playing some kind of psychological games with the goalie. Do you look at the goalie? Do you not look at the goalie?
Well, in my case, earlier in the year, we had played China to a draw. Or actually, we had got a penalty kick, and I was the one to take it. And she kind of looked at me and gazed into my eyes and gave me a little wink, and I was like,
whoa, oh.
And then I missed, and so I said, I'm not looking at that girl again.
No. It's the Red Menace. That's the Red Menace we're talking about. You gotta watch it. Okay, stay right there, can you?
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back here with the kids right after you take a look at this, folks. Now, how about, was it a game against Germany? Was it in the quarterfinals? Is that the game when early on, like a minute into the game, you boot one into your own goal?
Yeah, I was
How did that happen? I mean, you see it in hockey every now and then. How did it happen in this case?
Well, Germany came out really hard on us right from the beginning. They were ready to go, and I think they caught us on our heels, and it was very loud in the stadium, and I got to a ball early, and I thought I was going to just pass it back to Bri, and she was going to clear it, but she was coming out, and I hit it, and then I looked up, and it went into the goal. It was just a miscommunication.
So nobody else got to it. Your pass was errant.
Absolutely. I shouldn't have passed it within the frame of the goal. I should have passed it outside, but...
So, Mia, the other members of the team on the pitch, are they on the pitch then?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
When that happens, what does that do to the morale of the team when they realize, oh my God, we're one of our players has scored a goal against us?
It's like, sub? No.
Nah.
No. Well, it's not the way we had planned on starting out the game.
Really?
No.
That's not the game plan.
No. But I'd have to say that everyone kind of bounced back, especially Brandy, the way she composed herself, and everyone was so positive, and her coming back in the second half and scoring a very big goal for us to tie it 2-2, I think says a lot about who she is as a person.
Absolutely. And he ended up winning 3-2. Was that the score of the game?
3-2. But Dave, I think the most memorable experience besides winning in the final was that as soon as I put the ball in the goal, it was like I was so disappointed in myself and for what I had done against our team that our captain, Carla Overbeck, just looked me in the eye and said, forget about it. It's over. We got a lot of soccer to play. And she really gave me the courage to go on because I could see in her eyes that she trusted me, that she wasn't let down by what happened, that we had a lot to do.
It's a great lesson not only in sport but in life.
Absolutely.
Never give up. Never let yourself get down. You get a long way
You got
to go.
teammates behind
Absolutely.
you. So
I want to talk about something else that kind of stuck up my nose here and get me in a bad mood. I hear now that and maybe they've changed their mind, that, the big Wheaties box, let's put the champions on the Wheaties box. Are you going to be on the Wheaties box or not?
We're working on it.
Working on it. Now, see, that's my point. Well, there should be no work. It's a done deal. It's a slam dunk. Excuse me to use another word.
You're the man.
I'll take care of it.
You're the guru.
It makes me think. It makes me wonder, are the Wheaties people a little soft on communism? Huh? So you guys are down at the White House. How'd that go? Was that fun? You've been there like 3 times a piece or something, haven't you?
Yeah, it was hot.
Yeah. Now you've both won World Cup titles before, right?
Right.
And you both won Olympic titles before.
Yes.
Okay. And will the team now, this team, more or less stay together for is it the Olympics, or there's the national tournament in September, right?
We have what's called the U.S. Cup coming in the fall, and it's going to be in the Midwest, Columbus, Ohio, and their brand new stadium. And then the other 2 dates are to be determined where they're going to be played. And then we'll move on to the Olympics.
Are you guys making any dough out of this now? Can you, were you, this is like an amateur tournament, isn't it, theoretically?
Like that Wheaties box?
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Look at this. I'm going to tell you something. I'm no sports marketing genius, but what I have here, this is a multi-million-dollar photo. To me, this says so much about what you guys were able to accomplish.
Are you listening?
And
Are you listening?
And the celebration of the victory in Pasadena. Take a look at this. Here we go. This is all you need to know, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. It's a great photo. Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Well, I understand. Well, we know for a fact that everybody else is here tonight, and they have the hardware.
Yes, they do.
This will be the actual World Cup.
Well, we wanted to bring it to you because, like you said, you are the guru of the team.
I really feel responsible for. Thank you very much. Bring it in, kids. Here we go. Here's your 1999. Thank you all very much. Congratulations. Nice to have you here. There they are, kids. World Cup champions. We'll be right back. Yes, sir. How about those kids, huh?
That was fantastic.
I like them. I wish I knew them better. They've been on the show a few times. They're just great. It makes you feel good being around them,
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice job, Salute. Very nice. Okay, Paul, get ready. We're going to go back. That's a nice thing.
Sounds
for you
great,
and the wife
yeah.
and the kids to go out there?
My kids are perfect for it.
All right, Muppets from Space. Now, here are ways that they can appeal to today's teenagers.
I see.
Because today's teens, you know, it's a bad breed. Troubled teens all across the country. The Muppets can appeal to that very important teen audience.
Yeah.
Today. Yeah? All right, here we go. And number 10, sexually curious Gonzo sticks nose in warm apple pie. Number 9, introduce new Muppet, Notorious B.I.G. Bird.
It's a call to dinner in the tropical rainforest of Borneo. One of the last remaining homes of the wild orangutans. Or as they're called here, orangutan. But what's even more remarkable than these orangutans themselves is that they all share one mother, a human one, Barute galdigas.
Alex, Anwar, Abby, Tabarno, Tabarno.
Barute galdigas was just a 25-year-old anthropology student fresh out of UCLA when she and her husband Rod Brindamore left Los Angeles for this jungle.
He's moving up.
Her science and his photographs quickly made them famous. With the help of National Geographic, Barute brought her wild around